The last question is Mr. Coffman. You have 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Schulman, please know that my colleagues, for your employee that was lost in Texas, the families of the deceased are in our thoughts and prayers, and very respectful of not simply his service to his country through the IRS, but his service to the country through the military.
Yeah.
Prior to that, and you all certainly do the best you can do under these challenging times.
Thank you.
I have a question about the new health care law, and it will require you to develop a host of new forms, collection methods, and implementation strategies. What is the timeline for these changes to develop this?
Yeah, so you know, as I mentioned, there's a bunch of things that went into effect immediately, and that's what we've got a team working on right now. We also are putting teams together now to look at the longer-term impact of what happens. Most of the individual provisions and the employer provisions go into effect in 2014. And so if you think about us building our systems, generally you want to have systems built a year ahead of time, and then they're going to have to interface with the exchanges, insurance companies, employers, because it's, you know, we think of us as the payment system around that. That means you need to get it designed in 2012 within a couple of years. And so just so I'm clear, I don't have numbers now, but we're diligently working on them, and we're trying to scope this out, and we have people going through the entire bill, and we're hoping to be able to come to Congress you know, in the near future, and work out exactly what resources we're going to need in a lot more details.
Is the time frame to have this up and running by 2014 realistic?
You know, I think it is. I mean, it's my understanding is that it was designed to give plenty of lead time. For us, we're running tax provisions, which we do every day. And, you know, 4 years, a lot of times Congress passes things retroactively or passes things in December that we have to implement in January. And so we're not through the entire bill, but I'm confident, you know, if we have administrative flexibility and if we're given proper resources, that at least for our portion, we will be prepared by 2014.
Do you have any feeling as to what the budgetary impact of that will be in terms of ramping up to meet the obligations of the bill?
I don't right now. Obviously, CBO put a number out there, which is the tradition. CBO puts out numbers which Congress votes on. You know, I think it'll be potentially in that range, but it's just really too early to say.
Well, do you differ? Let's see. I think the Congressional Budget Office came up with this $10 billion in costs, additional funds, and 17,000 employees. Is that at all accurate in your view?
So the only number that they came up with is $5 to $10 billion over 10 years. They didn't come up with an employee number. My understanding is, and we didn't do those numbers with them, is that they recognized a lot of that is technology interface to get the flow of funds back and forth. A lot of that is service and answering questions on the phone. And so the employee number I really don't know. As you know, we had this discussion with your colleague. I think the broader numbers, we're still getting our arms around it, but it could be in that range.
When do you think you'll know? So it could be in the $17,000 range?
No,
17,000 individual range?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the number range.
I see. When do you think you will have the cost down and be able to project out the cost for the implementation as well as the number of personnel?
I think we're going to be able to know the cost for the next year and a half provisions for, you know, through fiscal year 11 pretty soon. I think the rest really depends on design, a bunch of choices that are made, how these exchanges get set up, et cetera. Because again, a lot of us is just flowing money and doing interchange on the money provisions, not on the health provisions with the exchanges.
So, okay,
So I really don't have a date for you exactly when.
Okay. So, but the exchanges are not the enforcement.
No, but the exchanges, you sign up at an exchange and you get your tax credit in an exchange, and it's based on tax data. So there's going to be a lot of information flow going back and forth.
Okay, very well. Mr. Chairman, I yield back the balance of my time.